All right, let's call Governor of Missouri Mike Parsons. Parson, singular.
Good morning, Governor Parsons' office.
Hello, I'm calling about Jeffrey Weinhaus, the political prisoner in Missouri.
Okay, great.
Can I share with you some points about his case, and just so that you guys know, I've studied his case.
We're very familiar with this case. You're welcome to share something if you like.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've put hundreds of hours. I've talked to Jeffrey. Not only have they silenced Jeffrey from calling me, used to call me every morning and put out 15-minute sermons, and not the prison he's at, but somebody higher up in the prison system called the prison that he's at ERDCC. I think it stands for Eastern Reception Diagnostic Correctional Center. They told Jeffrey he can no longer have his voice be put on the internet, which I think is an atrocious travesty to have a prisoner that, we can't even put out his voice from the prison. But here's some things that I'll mention to you regarding his case, and you may have heard some of them, but I bet you haven't heard all of them. The Missouri Constitution says that your right to carry a firearm shall not be questioned, yet Sergeant Henry Folsom questioned Jeffrey's right to have a firearm as soon as he got out of the car. Jeffrey was putting out a bulletin exposing corruption in his community several years, and they had a incentive to shoot him because he was exposing corruption in his community. They did not arrest Jeffrey right away after they shot him and tried to kill him, and what that did is it made them not responsible for paying all his hospital bills. Now, isn't that convenient that they try to kill him, they send him to the hospital, they don't arrest him right away, he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars of hospital bills, and they didn't have to pay it because he wasn't under arrest after they shot him. They only arrested him after the hospital bills had already accumulated. I think that's a very bad thing that they did. If I could give you Warren Markowitz's phone number, he's got a lawyer that's advocating for him. His phone number is 516-991-5181.
Anyone's welcome to contact our office.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, and here's the deal. I think I've heard you say, or at least someone said you said, that typically the governor doesn't pardon people till the end of his term, and he doesn't typically pardon people at the beginning. But I would say we're not looking for normal people. The previous governor was a normal person, and he hung up naked women and took pictures of them and threatened to send them out. And that's why he had to resign, because it was a sexual scandal. We're not looking for normal people. We're looking for people of character and constitution. And Mike Parson claims to be a Christian, and I would hope that he would look at this case and not let Jeffrey spend another day in prison. I mean, it's absolutely terrible what's happened to this man.
And I may have just kind of making, just trying to provide some broad, honest information that when a new administration comes into office, in this case, there are well over 3,000 applications on file. Any sort of, consideration, whenever a governor grants a pardon, that is going to go through an extensive process before it would even be considered to be done. So, and again, you'll generally see more action on applications later in a term. That's all. That's all I was wanting to indicate.
No, and I understand.
Again, with a whole new legal counsel, all of the reviews and such that had been done previously of any sort of applications, that whole process has to be gone back through, and it's just a very extensive process. Granting a pardon is a really big deal. Always want to kind of relay to people the gravity of that and how much time and attention would go into even considering making that action.
Well, and I would just say that not everybody has their crime caught on videotape like Jeffrey Weinhaus, and not only that, you're aware they put a stun cuff, it's also called a shock collar, on him during court. I mean, that's the most craziest thing I've ever heard of in my life. At first, I didn't believe it. I thought somebody's exaggerating, and then I looked into it, and I talked to his lawyer, and sure enough, the warning label on the shock collar said it can make you piss and defecate yourself. I'm not trying to be blunt or rude or crude. I'm just saying that's the real facts. The warning label actually said that, and who puts a stun cuff on a defendant when he's like, you know, trying to defend himself against a crime that could send him to prison for 30 years. And the charge they charged him with is first-degree attempted murder. First degree is like you arrive at the place with a premeditated plan to shoot somebody. There was like 10 minutes of video of him, you know, videotaping himself and receiving phone calls from his wife, and he was praying and reading the Bible before he even showed up. You can tell this man is not in a, he's scared. He was trying to find somebody to go to the place with him. Not only that, but they're the cops are the one who said, you need to show up at this location to pick up your computers. He didn't pick out the location. He's simply going there. He thinks he's going to get his computers back. So first-degree attempted murder with a premeditated plan to kill somebody is the most absurd thing I've ever had. He didn't even pick out the place. I mean, there's so much evidence to show that Jeffrey Weinhaus was not going there to kill anybody. And yes, he carried a gun, but that's okay. I mean, Missouri Constitution gives him the right to carry a gun. He didn't pull his gun, and he had a parachute holster. A parachute holster keeps your gun in place when you jump out of an airplane. If he was going to go there to kill somebody, he wouldn't have had his gun in a parachute holster, for goodness sake. I mean, that's a very difficult holster to pull your gun out. And I don't think he had enough time to pull out his gun. Not only that, but in the deposition, Sergeant Henry Folsom, he told the story before he knew the video was available. He said he told Jeffrey to get his hand off the gun before he shot him. And we have the audio of that, and that's up on YouTube. But when you listen to the actual video, nowhere does Sergeant Henry Folsom is ever recorded saying, get your hand off the gun. That was a complete fabrication by the cop. And let me say this, I know that you're busy, and I'll just say this and offer this for your consideration. We live in a society that has hero worship for cops. And my own uncle served as a motorcycle Dallas policeman for over 30 years. So I have respect for what the cops do, but at the same time, everybody has to operate within the law. And if we allow the cops to operate above the law and allow them to shoot our friends and our citizens and get away with it, and they're never prosecuted, we're looking at the verge of a pandemonium society here. The cops have to be held accountable to the same law that we are, and I'm concerned that...
All right, sir. I'm going to get some other folks, as you indicated here. Happy to pass along your thoughts, and we continue to do so with folks.
Okay. All right. The last thing I'll say is we have an eyewitness, Marty Leach, and he had no dog in this fight. And Marty Leach said that Jeffrey Weinhaus did not have his hand on his gun. He did not pull his gun, and he said that he was set up and executed. That's an eyewitness. I mean, we got so much evidence that Jeffrey Weinhaus is innocent. I pray that that Governor Mike Parsons doesn't do the normal thing and waits till the end of the term. I pray that he does the special thing and the Christian thing, and he'll go down in history as a hero for liberty if he pardons Jeffrey Weinhaus, and all of the people will know that he's a governor of the people. And I pray that he hears this message, and I thank you for your time.
All right, very good. You too.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, we're going to keep trying. I don't know what else to do here. I hope you give him a call. The phone number, I hope you flood Mike Parson, Governor Mike Parsons, with phone calls other than just the few folks of us that I know are doing it. I hope he gets thousands of phone calls. I hope he gets people marching around his office. His phone number is 573-751-3222. 573-751-3222.